When you picture World War II soldiers in the thick of battle, you might imagine the roar of tanks, the endless trenches, and the camaraderie of men fighting side by side. But here's something you might not have thought about. What did they eat to keep going? Their food wasn't just about calories, it was about survival, morale, and sometimes even creativity. Let's dive deeper into the meals that fueled the soldiers of World War II, and you might find yourself surprised, or maybe even a little queasy. For U.S. troops, food came in the form of C rations and later K rations, compact meals designed to be lightweight and long-lasting. C rations, these canned meals, included items like meat stew, pork and beans, or chicken and vegetables. They were high in calories but low in flavor. Soldiers often complained about their monotony, joking that they were either a blessing or a curse. Imagine eating cold meat hash every day for weeks. K rations. Designed for short missions, these were even more basic. Think crackers, cheese spread, a small canned tray, and powdered lemonade. Soldiers often swapped or traded components to get their favorites, if you could call them that. To make things more bearable, soldiers would add a touch of home to their meals. They mixed instant coffee into canned milk for a makeshift latte, or warmed up cans over vehicle engines. One GI famously turned his C ration stew into a decent meal by stealing a little salt and pepper from mess halls. For British soldiers, food came with a dose of cultural tradition. Compo rations, short for composite rations, included canned meats, biscuits, and, you guessed it, tea. In fact, tea was seen as so vital that entire logistics chains were dedicated to delivering it to the front lines. A hot cup of tea was more than just a drink. It was a slice of comfort in the chaos of war. But it wasn't all rosy. Biscuits were often rock hard and could crack a tooth if you weren't careful. Soldiers soaked them in tea or soup to make them edible. When chocolate bars were included in rations, they were a cherished treat, but often melted in the heat of North Africa or turned to bricks in the cold European winters. German troops started the war with well-stocked rations, often including bread, sausage, cheese, and coffee. However, as the war dragged on and supply lines broke down, their meals became increasingly sparse. Eintopf, a one-pot stew, became a staple. This humble dish combined potatoes, turnips, and sometimes a bit of meat, if they were lucky. By the later years of the war, German soldiers often resorted to ersatz foods, substitutes made from whatever could be found. Ersatz coffee, for example, was brewed from roasted acorns or barley. Ersatz bread, shockingly, included sawdust to stretch the flour supply. Soviet soldiers were hardened by some of the harshest conditions of the war, and their food reflected that. A typical meal included kasha, a porridge made from buckwheat or barley. It wasn't fancy, but it was filling and easy to cook in bulk. What might surprise you is the inclusion of vodka rations. While it wasn't a daily allowance, vodka was distributed to boost morale or steel nerves before a tough mission. Soldiers also relied heavily on locally scavenged food, from wild berries to stolen livestock, especially during prolonged sieges. For soldiers fighting in the jungles of the Pacific, food posed unique challenges. Canned goods often spoiled in the humid heat, and supply lines were difficult to maintain. American troops carried jungle rations, which included items like Spam, dehydrated potatoes, and canned fruit. Spam, in particular, became iconic. It was easy to ship, lasted forever, and could be eaten cold. Japanese soldiers, on the other hand, relied on rice and pickled vegetables, with dried fish or canned goods as supplements. When supplies ran out, both sides turned to foraging. Coconuts, bananas, or even snakes became dinner. Here's something that might surprise you. Chocolate played a big role in World War II. The U.S. military worked with Hershey to create the D-Ration bar, a high-calorie chocolate bar designed to withstand extreme temperatures. However, it wasn't exactly a treat. It was intentionally made to taste just okay, so soldiers wouldn't eat it as a snack. In addition to chocolate, soldiers were often given hard candies like peppermint or butterscotch to boost morale and provide quick energy during long marches. Food wasn't just sustenance, it was a reminder of home and identity. The type of rations soldiers received often reflected their nation's resources and culture. A British soldier's tea ritual, An American GI's Spam or a German troop's sausage spoke volumes about where they came from and what they were fighting to protect. Despite the challenges, soldiers showed incredible ingenuity, turning bland and repetitive meals into something they could stomach and sometimes even enjoy. Their stories of survival through food give us a new appreciation for the sacrifices they made. Would you dare to try a World War II ration? What would your reaction be to ersatz bread or a Spam sandwich? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.